Today we're going to talk about application and how to write an application to get attention from a Swedish employer or employer in Scandinavia. And like the last time we were talking, we were here, we have the question and answers later on. So if you have a question, write it down and ask afterwards. Sometimes, like the last time also, I will ask you questions. And I'll try to repeat them so so even the audience later on can understand. So today we're going to talk about the application, how to write an application. And when we start with reading the application and reading the ad. And I will show you. But what we're going to go through first of all is just look for what they are looking for. When you're finding an ad that interests you, you just look for what they are looking for. You can highlight it in different ways. You have a highlighter, in some ways, and it's often put into bullet points. They look for characteristics, they look for some special things, and they could put it into bullet points. And when you write your letter, you show them by example what you've been doing. Because if you tell them that I am a very driven, and I'm a very enthusiastic, and I'm a very something, person, and that's it, no one will know that. But if you say, when I was doing my thesis at that and that company, and I was doing this and this, the result was that. Then they have someone to check it up with. You always, if you say that you have something special, you have the characteristics they're looking for or something, you connect it to something you've been doing, the company you've been working for, or things you've been studying, or anything like that. And also, like we talked about last time, you describe your responsibilities and results you get. And what I have here is, we can see here, the first one is an ad that I found on the internet. I took away the company's name because I haven't asked them if I can talk about it. But as you can see here, they have, you can go into this one very deep. And I've been doing that. So I've been doing like this. And you sit with a highlighter and you just find parts. And if we look at the first one, the first green part of a development team, what does it say? What kind of characteristics would you need to have to be a part of a team?
You need to be a team player.
You need to be a team player, exactly. And how do you tell them that you are a team player?
By showing an example.
Show an example, exactly. Yes, that you've been working in a team before at that company, or you've been your thesis, or whatever you've been doing. And even, remember that also, we talked about it last time, even if you've been playing football, for instance, you're a team player, right? You've been playing basket, you've been playing something. But if you've been playing golf, that's more like it for one person, right? So this is something they're looking for. And then you have the international environment also. So that is good also if you can show them in some way. Have you been working? Have you some connection, international connection? Yes, of course, you live in Sweden, in Stockholm, right? But you're coming from another country, okay? So then you do that. You show them that. And then you just move on like this. And then you have the customer projects. And if they say they'd like to have you, they say they'd like to have someone that's very familiar to work with the customer projects. What does it say? What kind of characteristics would you need to have to be able to be working with that?
Should be good in business, probably, to just represent different products, get attention of people to sell these products.
Yes, good in business and getting attention from other people's, and also sorry, good communication skills, service-minded maybe, so anything you have done that can connect to that is very good. And it says also that there will be customer contact later on, and that is also, you will be responsible for customer contacts, and that, then you are, how do you say, shopping window? Do you say that for the company? So how do you represent the company? Do you dress well? Do you look good? Do you take care of yourself? Are you sporty? Are you, what kind of person are you? So that's why it's important, to find out all these kind of things. Maybe you should do, maybe you never, you should meet any customers. That's okay. But then this ad, they're looking for someone that actually can represent the company. So it's important. And also you have here, they say, you see the first red one there, important. It is important that you be familiar with enjoy working in an entrepreneurial environment. So, and that is something special to work in that kind of environment. A big company like Ericsson doesn't have that. I don't think so. Maybe some departments could have that. But a smaller company, they have often this entrepreneurial environment. So if you can show that you have that, and you can show it in a lot of different ways, you can show that you have this entrepreneurial environment skills, that you've been doing that. And I would say, you have, you could have it from doing things, like organizing maybe a concert. Maybe you've been doing some other, small projects before. Maybe it's a long time ago. Maybe it's 5 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. It's okay. You bring it up. And also, if you've been doing it several times, then it's good. So all these kind of things they're looking for. This is a quite good ad, I would say. And then the last one I did, maybe you see more things, but the last one I did is the multinational company. And that says something about them. Since you are, you maybe knows, you have your mother tongue, you have English, and maybe you also start to learn some Swedish, because this is a Swedish company they are applying for here in Stockholm. So maybe you have some Swedish also. That also says something about you. It's a multinational, that you are multinational also. That's something you should bring up. And then here, this is a good ad because they have also desired skills and experience. And desired, it's not a must. If it was a must, they would have put it in as must. It's not a must. So we say here they're searching for a specialized in designing plastic parts with optical performance, and it's SolidWorks experience. Okay, I don't think a lot of you have SolidWorks experience, do you? No, maybe not. But it's not a must. So this is a desire they have. And you look for these kind of things. And even if you're thinking about maybe it's a must, maybe it's not, I would recommend you to send in the application anyway, because let them decide if you have enough skills or not. And and also the next one, the personal profile. And here you see, here they are very clear with they're looking for a team player, and these kind of things they are looking for. This ad is a very simple, and it's a very straightforward ad to go into and to look into and find out what is it they're actually looking for. So then we start with the application, and for those of you who were here Tuesday, you can see I have the same format I had then at Tuesday. I have my contacts up to the left, and I have my picture up to the right. So what I do when I send in an application is that I just clean the CV, and I use the same format. And then I start with a one-liner. This is something we talked about also, to get the attention, to get some kind of attention within the first 30 seconds. I don't remember if I told you that a friend of mine, his friend is working as a recruiter at Harvard University, and they say if you don't get their attention in the first 30 seconds, it's no. They just throw it away, no question. They just throw it away. Thank you. Thank you. So that's Got some tea here. Good. So what we do is, I put up 3 different kind of things here. Driven team player, and your search for electromechanical engineer starts and stops here. You can say stops here. And I apply for the job as an electromechanical engineer since I'm the perfect one. This is something that really, you tell them that you are the perfect one. A lot of applications that I see is more of, they write down a lot of things about themselves and tell them what they've been doing and all that, and then they give it to the company for the company to decide if you are the one, if you're the right one. No, that's not the way to do it, because then you need to wait. You need to wait, you need to wait. What you do is that you write down how you see, how come that you are the perfect one. So for instance, if you say that your search for electromechanical engineer stops here, why does it stop here? Because you are the one, right? Then you tell them, and that is basically what this is about, You tell them. Anything, they are asking for, you tell them, yes, I have that. Yes, I have that. Because if you don't, should you really apply for this job? I mean, if you don't love the company, if you don't like, if it's not what you really are good at, or maybe not you're good at, but if you don't have the skills, should you really apply for it? Well, that's a question for you to answer, actually. My recommendation is just look for the jobs that you really like. Just go in for the jobs that you have, enough qualifications for. But if you're doubting, just close to, I'm not sure, send it in anyway and let them decide. So that's the first 30 seconds where you're going to have their attention. And then you start with describing how much you like the company. You describe, here I say, I've been long following your amazing work. And so you show them that you like the company. We've been talking about that, sending in applications to a lot of company, all the ads that you see, it will only, every recruiter who gets your ad will see this is just, one among hundreds, you're looking for one job among 100 other jobs. And that's not good. So you need to write an ad, an application that is for a cover letter that is for that specific job, and you look into what kind of company is this, what's the core values of the company, is it something that I like, what are they doing, do they have some social interest in social responsibility, what are they doing, is there something else they're doing, bring it up. Here I just said that I've been following their amazing work, and I put these kind of things on just to show that I've been following this company for a while, and I decided, and I also say here, since I was a teenager, I loved high-tail. No, I miss where it is. Yes, I decided to work for you. Okay, so you say that. That is, within these first 30 seconds that will actually get their attention for your application. And then we come into this, you've been going through all of these things in the ad, and then here is the explanation. For instance, we had, if we go back to, there, if you go back to this team player, for instance, then I say, well, here it is, the entrepreneurial environment. I explain here when I was with that company where it is an entrepreneurial environment. My responsibility was to develop products, and then you go on and describe. And that's what you do with all of these kind of things. And you see that what I've been doing. And also during my time with which is a multinational company, so I tell them, so I go and I look at that, what does it say? What do they look for? Are they looking for someone, with these skills? Are they looking for someone with that? I just go in and I connect it. And something also I would like you to bring up here, like you did at the CV, was it a special, did you get some results from that? And so if you remember that also, that you have the responsibilities and the result. So what kind of responsibilities did you have and what was the result? And also you can bring up, even if you haven't been working, even if you haven't been employed here, you can bring it up. This is also if you what you do in your spare time. For instance, if you like an entrepreneurial environment, can be starting a football team, starting these kind of things could also show that you are familiar with working with that. And then we have the last part. Here I didn't use so much, but here is your opportunity to actually show them why you are the perfect one. So we have here that in my spare time, what do you do? Remember what we were talking about last Tuesday, that you bring up everything you've been doing. In my spare time I do this and this, and everything you can connect to that shows that you really like this company, that shows that you really are the perfect one for this job. Anything you can bring up. And here I'm just using 4 or 5 lines, and you can use 10 lines if you like to, because this is a longer one. But you should never make it more than 1 A4. And if you're reading this one, you all got this one? Yeah. So here you have also very good information about how to read it, how to write it. And so then we come to what we're going to do then. With the application. Now, like we did with the CV, you make it in a PDF. It's really important to make it as a PDF. It shows that you're a professional and you have an appropriate file name to it. For instance, like I did with this one. And then what's coming in this is just something I just wanted to recommend you all to go into more and more, because this is something that's really important, and that's also when you send in the application, is to network. You start to network here. Maybe you're here for 1 year, 2 years. I don't know how long you're here, but network during this time. And you start to go play football, you start to learn language, you start to learn Swedish, or you start to dance, or you start anything, Start to network here, because then you might have someone, and you ask them, you remember I talked about last time about LinkedIn. You ask them if you can add them as a contact at LinkedIn also, because then on LinkedIn the recruiters will see that you have connections here in Sweden also, for instance, in Sweden. Or if you apply for a job in Norway or wherever it is, you have connections already there. So networking is also something. And if you find someone is working on the company that you're applying for the job, if you find it, then you call that guy and you talk to him, even if it's a friend of a friend of a friend, or you just met him and you see, okay, he's working actually for this company that I would like to send in the application to. Then you call him and you say, hi, I saw that you're working for that company. I'm just about to send in the application. Do you think I should do that? And of course he will say, yes, of course you should send it in. And then you write it down in your application. You write it down that I was talking to so-and-so and he recommended me to send it in to you. It means like you already have a connection that recommends you to send it in. You have a connection in that company that really is, very good for you. That is, here in Scandinavia, I would say that is more important than maybe in many other places in the world. So we go through the network. And some people say that actually the jobs that you see, the ads that you see, that's about 30-40% of the job market in Sweden. The rest is networking. I'm not sure if that's the correct numbers, but that's what I heard. So that's why it's so important for you to network. So if we do a summarize of this one, so we do like we did with CV. We put up the contact info on the top left corner. We take the picture, remember to make it a professional one, and we give them a good one-liner to start with. Some people also suggest to put up the company's name that you, like we did, if we go back here and see, I apply for the job as electromechanical engineer at, and then you put in the company's name, so they know what that you are, there's no doubt about it, they're looking for a job in that company's name. So you make it a good one-liner, and remember to connect everything you just said to what you've been doing, because otherwise it's like, I can say here and I can tell you that I'm the best rock climber in the world. And who of you would believe me? I don't know, maybe a few of you would believe me. But if I would show you that I have a world class, you know, I won this competition, I can show it to you, then you would start to believe me. So that's why it's so important to connect everything you say with what you've been doing. So if you say that I have entrepreneurs, I know how to work, I've been working in entrepreneurial skills, then you tell them where you've been doing that, and all these characteristics you say. If you say that you're really a driven person, well, let them know where you were, and also let them know what your results was of that, came out of that. And that is also the one, responsibilities and results. That is to show them. And also, tell them you love the company. That's something I put up here. And I don't know if you love the company, but you know, the better you feel about the company, the bigger are the chance that you get the job there. And let them know that. Let them know that. Tell them that. Okay? Because if you're not, should you really apply? Well, I don't know. And you answer what they desire. You answer all the time. And you find the characteristics you're looking for. And then you have the references like we talked about last time also. You know, that the references is only on request. And then like we did with the CV also, you make it a smaller one. You see, does it look good? Do I miss something? Is it too much of the text? Shall I make some more space in it? And things like that. And then you just check it. If you should move it down, make it more center, all these kind of things. Because what they see is, you know, bam, it comes up in the computer and they see it. They can't start reading it at once. So they see it first and they will have a good, you know, feeling about this. So they will start to read it. And then make it a PDF and network. So that is about how to do your cover letter, how to do your application for the jobs here, and especially I would say here in Scandinavia, we have little differences, but it is different, and some of them are really important. And I would say one of the most important thing is to actually tell them a little bit more about yourself, what you're doing in your spare time, and also to network, to find people that are working in that company. It doesn't matter, you know, how you do it, just do it.